One of the more critical and yet often underappreciated skills with regard to PowerShell is knowing how to parse a JSON file. There are a couple of reasons why this is so critical. First of all, if you query an API, the results of that query are often going to be returned in JSON format. So it's important to know how to handle the output resulting from that API query. Now, even if you're not building full-blown applications in PowerShell and you never touch an API, there is another reason why it's so important to know how to handle a JSON file. And the reason for that is simple. PowerShell is often used as a Windows management tool, and very often configuration files for applications and web apps and things like that are stored in JSON format. And so it's important to know how to go into a JSON file and extract a value so that you can take action based on that value. And that's similar to what I have on screen right now. What I've got here is an example JSON file. This is what a configuration file might typically look like. Incidentally, this is just an example file. And I got this example file from this URL right here. You can go out to json.org/example.html, and there are several different JSON files that you can download and experiment with to your heart's content. And that's where this particular JSON file came from. So let's suppose for a moment that we wanted to create a PowerShell script that would go in and look at an image's file name. Well, if you look at this particular JSON file, you can see that we have a file name stored right here. It's images/sun.png. So let's suppose that we had a PowerShell script and for whatever reason we needed to extract this file name and be able to alter it in some way. How might we go about doing that? Well, it's actually really simple to do. In fact, you only need a couple of lines of code. Let's take a look at the script. So here's my script, and you can see that the first line is nothing more than just a comment showing where I got the example JSON file from. The second line is where we really get into the heart of the script. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm creating a variable called $data. And then I'm setting this variable equal to getContent, which is a way that you can tell PowerShell that you want to read a file. And the file that I'm reading is c:/scripts/json.txt. And if you notice, my example JSON file was named json.txt. So once I've read that file into the $data variable, the next thing that I'm doing is running convert from-json. That's a native PowerShell commandlet that is used to convert JSON data into a PowerShell object. The next line of code that I have is simply $data. And the only thing that that line of code does is it displays the contents of the $data variable on the screen, just so that you can see what it looks like. From there, we have two more lines of code, and I'll get into those in just a second. For right now, I'm going to comment out these lines of code. And let me save the file. And let's go ahead and run the PowerShell script. As it stands right now, we're only going to be executing these two lines of code. Let's take a look at what they do. So when I execute the script, you can see that we have a single object that's returned, and that object is called widget. And then within that object, we have an array. And you can see debug equals on, and then we have Windows equals, and then there's no value, image equals, and again, no value, and text equals, and again, there's no value. So I'm going to leave this on screen, but let's refer back to our JSON file for a moment. So if you look at the JSON file, you can see that at the very top we have widget, and that just happens to be the name of the object that was returned by PowerShell, as you can see right here. Then if we look underneath the widget, we can see that the JSON file is constructed hierarchically. And so we have various nodes. We have debug, we have window, image, and text. And then if you look at the PowerShell output, the array contains debug, window, image, and text. So PowerShell is returning the top level elements of this hierarchy. Now, if you're wondering why we have debug equals on, but we don't have a value shown for window, images, or text, the reason for that has to do with the contents of the file. If you look at the file, you can see that debug has a value associated with it, and that value is on. On the other hand, window doesn't have a value associated with it, nor does image or text. Now, the one thing that makes debug different from window, image, and text is that window, image, and text contain other items beneath them within the hierarchy. So what we're trying to do is get to the image source, and more specifically its value, which is the file name of this image. So how do we go about doing that? Well, let's go back to our script and take a look. Right now, what we've done is we've read in our JSON file, we've performed a conversion on that JSON file to turn it into a PowerShell object, and then we've displayed that object using $data. Now, if we want to display a specific item within the $data variable, which contains the entire JSON file formatted as a PowerShell object, then we have to do things just a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out the $data line, and then I'm going to remove the comment symbols that I put in the next two lines of code. So the next line of code that we have creates a variable called $image. And we're pointing that image at a very specific spot within the data array. So you can see the @ symbol after the equals. Anytime in PowerShell that you see an @ sign after the equals, that indicates that you're working with an array. And what we're doing is we're referencing a very specific location within that array. Specifically, we're referencing $data, that's the name of our variable that corresponds to this PowerShell object. So we're looking inside of the $data variable, and then we're referencing widget, image, src. So with that in mind, let's take a look at our JSON file. Now, as you'll recall, widget was at the top of our hierarchy, and we had several different elements beneath that. The next level down, working toward the item that we're trying to get, is image. And if you look at our script, we're referencing $data, which is the PowerShell object that we've created, and then .widget, which is the top level of the hierarchy within the JSON file, and then .image, which is the next level beneath that. Then the next thing that we have is .src, and .src just happens to be the item whose value we're interested in. And if you look back at the JSON file, you can see that src is indeed the name of an item within this hierarchy. So what we're doing with that line is retrieving the value that's associated with src, and that value is images/sun.png, the specific item that we're trying to retrieve. And then the last line of code simply displays the contents of the $image variable. So let me go ahead and save this script, and let's rerun it. Now you can see that the script returns the item that we're interested in, specifically images/sun.png, or the file name associated with the image defined within this fictitious configuration file. So that's how you parse a JSON file using PowerShell.